I'm Jim Smith, USG Committees for MUN, and today's video lesson is going to discuss motions related to voting procedure. The first of these is motion for previous question. This is basically the motion to move into voting procedure. Voting procedure can happen in a couple of different ways. If you run out of a speaker's list on a resolution or an amendment, it automatically occurs. Debate can be limited to a certain number of speakers, but motion for previous question is generally the most common, and it requires a 2/3 majority to pass and takes 2 speakers opposed. Basically, this is to ensure that previous question is not moved unless a large chunk of the body believes that debate has pretty much wrapped up. Once previous question is passed, the committee is in voting procedure, and there's no talking aloud, no passing of notes, and so forth. There are a small number of motions that are in order during voting procedure, and one of these is division of the question. Division of the question is likely one of the most complicated motions in the MUN handbook, so bear with me while I explain. The division of the question is used when delegates want to consider different parts of a resolution separately. Say there are certain parts of the resolution which are very contentious, which they feel that delegates might sink the resolution for. So division begins when a delegate submits a written request for a division of the question. Say you have a resolution with 8 clauses, a simple division would take the form of, say, clauses 1 through 4 being voted on separately, and then clauses 5 through 8. Preambulatory clauses stand or fall with whichever portion of the operatives passes through the division procedure, so they don't need to be included in a written division. Once the division has been written out fully, it gets submitted to the chair, needs to be submitted before voting procedure. This is very important. Once it's been approved by the chair, the delegate who submitted the division of the question in writing will raise their placard and move division of the question formally. First, the motion for division of the question needs to be passed by a simple majority. Once that has happened, if there are multiple motions for division of the question, they will be voted on in the order of most destructive to least destructive. Once any one division is passed by simple majority, all the other divisions are moot. They aren't considered, they are set aside. Once a motion for division, a specific one, has been passed, depending on how it's divided out, each section in the division is voted on in a separate vote. So again, if you have 1 through 4 and 5 through 8, you have a separate vote for clauses 1 through 4. If that passes, it stays with whatever part of the resolution stays around, and then clauses 5 through 8, and say that fails. After that happens, you have yet another vote in order to vote on the resolution as a whole. Only in this case, you're voting on the preambles plus operatives 1 through 4, because 5 through 8 have failed separately and they've been divided out. They don't come back. Finally, there is the motion for a roll call vote. If a delegate feels that a vote is going to be particularly close, they don't want to leave the vote up to the vagaries of placard waving, they can move for a roll call vote. This requires no second and no vote, and this is the only motion that is included in the MUN handbook that functions as such. It is only to be raised for very specific, very serious purposes as outlined above. Please do not raise motions for roll call vote spuriously.